everyone, welcome to another episode of Crash Cinnamon. It's your host McKenna, and today we have a special guest. She's a barding artist from Kenya. She sings, she raps, she writes, she does it all. And you're going to hear today from the horse's mouth how it all began, how the journey is going, what's the new projects. So yeah, if you're interested in music industry and just learning the ropes, this is for you, okay? Welcome, Zedai, to the
Yeah,
show.
hi.
It's
Thank you for
lovely to
having
have
me.
you. It's lovely to have you here. So, just tell us, for those who don't know you, for the listeners, who is Zedai?
Mm. Zedai is a just another human being who loves music and art and loves teaching and spreading love and peace. Yeah, that's Zedai.
Okay, that's good. We need more peace in this world, and if we know music and art is a vehicle to actually bring people together from different cultures, different ages. So that's powerful. It's a powerful statement. Yeah. So when did your music career journey begin? Where did it all begin for you?
I can say my journey began back when I was like around 12 years old. We used to sing in church with my parents and my brother. We used to go out for missions, and they'll welcome us. My dad is a preacher and my mom is a teacher, so they would welcome us to talk to them. And in the process, my mom would request to sing a song, and I was the soprano back then, and
Okay, that was good. Mhm.
my dad was the tenor, and my bro was just there.
It was just
But
there. Wow.
we used to really sing together and enjoy it. Even in the car, as we were just moving, someone would start a chorus and everybody would join in. And when I got to 12 years, um, I wrote my first song when I was 12 years old. It was in
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. It was during that Christmas period, and I just felt like writing. I was like, I can do something and present it in church. And I just went home, wrote a chorus, and went to church and talked to my brother, who really encouraged me. And
Mm-hmm.
we learned the song, took a few people there, taught them the song, and like in 2 hours' time, we were singing along with everybody else in the church. And that's the moment I
Okay.
knew, okay, I have something. It's a journey.
Okay.
Let's start. Yeah.
So definitely you come from a musical family, church girl, as we could call it. Uh, Father was a preacher. I guess you can let us know later how that influence you or not, because some of your lyrics are very hard hitting or very out there, not necessarily what you listen to in a church. So,
Yeah.
but I guess that's an all in growth and finding yourself as an artist. So, at 12 years, you had the guts and the boldness to actually write your first song and perform it. So how did you feel being on the stage there and you're singing the song for the first time? Something that was just in your mind and now you seeing it coming out in a song. How did that all feel for you?
That felt powerful. I can
Mm-hmm.
say powerful because I felt like I can be heard. Like finally, someone is listening, someone is singing to whatever I had in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and people are relating, and people can feel what I was feeling when I was writing this. And that is everything when it comes to art and music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're a writer, you have to be able to transport someone from a different world and bring
Yeah.
them to your world, and
Mm-hmm.
welcome them into your world and enjoy with them in your world, so that as they leave they feel like they don't really want to leave, they just want to keep on hearing what you have to give.
Okay. Okay, that's a interesting way to look at it. Is yeah, definitely we know music is powerful, and especially in this pandemic time, definitely music has been keeping us going, has been revolutionizing the world. There's so many things that have happened through music and art. And like you said, it's interesting how you put it that music is a journey. It can take you places, it can introduce you to different things, and definitely to introduce you to culture, to perspective. So, yeah, it is powerful in that sense. Okay, so when did you now come up with the name Zedai? What does Zedai mean?
The name Zedai is actually Zedai is just the Z and the I. But then
Mm-hmm.
I decided to write it as, how you pronounce Z and how you
Okay.
pronounce I. So
Ah,
yeah, so that's
interesting.
yeah, that's where it came from. And it's because um I have a brother who is called Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of the biggest influences in my life when it comes to music and when it comes to, let's say, anything to do with art. He's the first
Yeah.
person who painted. He's a painter. He's a
Mm-hmm.
lyricist. He's a vocalist. He does videography.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Multifaceted.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
who is very talented,
Yeah.
and he influenced my music because when I started doing music, I used to write and run back to him and ask, is this okay, what do you think? I used to really rap for him things
Mm-hmm.
that I don't even think
Yeah.
was.
So he was your soundboard in all
Yes,
this. Mm-hmm.
it was that guy who was there when I
Mm-hmm.
was starting, and I got to
Mm-hmm.
the point I told myself, if I make it in this world and I get to a point where I am now there.
Mm-hmm.
People are people are mentioning my name and people are giving me, the recognition that I deserve finally. What
Mm-hmm.
name do you want to hear? And I told
Mm-hmm.
myself, I want to hear my name, yeah, but I don't want to leave this guy who is helping me right now. I want
Mm-hmm.
him to be in my name. Like I want to remember at my highest where I started. And where I started is my brother listening to me and encouraging me. So I said,
Ah.
I have a nickname. There are some people who call me Zule, others call me
Mm-hmm.
Zedai.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the Zule, I took the Z, and I took the
Mm-hmm.
I in Isaac. My brother is Isaac, and I made the Zedai. Yeah, so that's
Oh,
how.
interesting. I didn't know that. That's the I do we must you must get some points there for your for your growing you up. That's good in the music industry. And I think that speaks a lot about family and how siblings are instrumental to individuals realizing their dreams, building on their dreams. I mean, when you see big artists now, most of them, it's family that really propel them to where they are. So it's amazing. And it's wonderful to hear that you have a very strong family background and a strong, neat sibling that, you can bounce off ideas. And that's great. And I think for our listeners out there, this is a chance for you, for those who have siblings and they want to sing together or they have ideas together, allow it because they get strength from each other, and encourage that. Yeah, so that's fantastic. Okay, so Zed and I, Zedai, good, very, I mean, you can see the artistic side of you there. So you mentioned that you're a teacher, so, and you love doing that. So how did you get into teaching?
I got into teaching. I was actually kind of forced into
Mm-hmm.
teaching because I didn't really. I just wanted to do music. I just
Yeah.
wanted to act. I wanted to do music. I wanted to be in that world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I went to the university, I I was initially going in for teaching.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I realized, oh, we can change. We can change what
Okay. So, yeah, you can
and I
change
decided
me.
to go and change to my major, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to my dad, and my dad said, if you dare, I won't pay your fees.
He has a strong African mind that he is, yeah, definitely.
He said, you left home going to the university to study what? Teaching. Okay, stick to that. If you do not stick to that, nobody is paying your fees. So I I became humble.
Yeah, yeah. And I
And
guess it goes to show you, I think for our listeners who are not from a basically maybe like an African background, or I know definitely listeners from Asia understand this because they have similar setup. In Africa, really, if you're not a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or they whatever they feel the parents is the one that you need to go, then you can't. As art and music is a waste. In fact, parents think that's a hobby. It's
yeah,
something that you do way after books, way after everything else. And it's fantastic that you were able to articulate fast at that age that this is what you wanted to do, even though you didn't end up reading it, but you were able to do it. Yeah.
yeah, but I love it. I actually love it. Just the other day, as I was preparing to go to work, I was thinking about my students, and they all had different problems, and I was trying to help them out. And I was thinking, right now, I was so tired that day, and I was thinking, I'm tired. I don't want to go to work. And then the only thing that made me, like get excited about going to work was to
Mm-hmm.
think, but I'm going there to help, a particular person. If I don't show up, then a particular person will not, be able to do this and this. And I felt like I need to go. I need to go to work because I
Yeah.
have kids there waiting
Mm-hmm.
for advice, waiting for, just me being there and encouraging them to just live another day,
Mm-hmm.
because um most of them come from humble backgrounds, and
Okay.
really
Uh-huh.
you have to be there for them because they have a lot of problems, not
Mm-hmm.
just financially but also psychologically. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them have seen their parents abusing each other, fighting. There's a lot of things that they
They go
meet every
through.
single day when
Mm-hmm.
they live. And I'm there. If I can just make a change for even one of them, then my work is done. Like every single day doesn't go to waste. So I love teaching. I love
That's
teaching.
amazing.
I went into
Mm-hmm.
teaching without wanting to go into teaching, but now that
Mm-hmm.
I'm in teaching,
You fell
I
in love with it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I guess it all turned out to be for good. It turned out to be positive in your career. So what do you teach? What age group do you teach?
I am an English literature teacher.
Oh, okay. Go girl. Okay. That explains the poetry and everything. I mean, you're able to teach it as well, so that's amazing. Uh-huh.
And I teach kids from age group of 12 years to around 22
Wow.
years. Yeah, 12 to
That's
20.
huge. That's a really huge age group.
Yeah.
And how do you balance your normal work life and your creative side? What do you do? How do you make sure that one side is not suffering from the other? What do you do? Yeah.
Um, I think what I do is my character helps me out a lot because I
Mm-hmm.
am this person who, if I'm out, I'm out. I'll be the noisiest person. I will say hi to everybody. I will laugh. But once I the house or once I'm indoors, it's just me and myself. So most
Mm-hmm.
of the time when I'm in school, I play out the extrovert part of it, and then
Okay.
when I come back home, I play the introvert part of it. That is the creative side.
Mm-hmm.
Once you just keep quiet and just listen, you go into another world. You're able to balance out maybe something that was happening to you in school and you are not able to think about it and solve it. Once you get to that position, now you're able to, like, deal with it or something. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
understand it. Yeah, it's good. I mean, as women, we have to balance a lot. We have to balance our work life, our creative lives, for this what parent life. So yeah, it's good that you have a creative outlet for whatever you see. Because also, as you've mentioned, the kids and the children and also adults that you teach have life issues happening to them, and those are causing them barriers to be some attain the education they need or concentrate in class, and all that inspires you as a creative, as an artist, to create and speak about all these things. So I guess that's good because you have a source of where you have raw, everyday life happening, and that channels to your music, because if you listen to your music, you feel it's relatable, it's something you can understand because you've been through it, and I guess that's the advantage you have, because you have, different places, source of inspiration, which is really good.
Yeah.
So now, so what's the Zedai up to in terms of music, in terms of albums? What are you working on?
Zedai, Zedai is actually back. Zedai was there and then
Yeah.
took a break,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's back.
That's good. Welcome back. I
Yeah.
feel like I should play that song. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. Actually, I've done music for a very long time, but it got to a point I realized I'm just writing and I'm just sending out my lyrics. I don't know anything about the industry. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm just doing things, randomly. I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting in so much effort, but at the end of the day, I am reaching just a little audience.
Okay.
I realized then I need to change some things, and then I had as I was trying to change things, I had my producer, the person I was working with, I had him uh, vanish with all my projects, and when
Terrible.
he finished,
Wow.
that was like 8 years worth of projects,
Oh my
and
goodness.
time and energy and money, and it was heartbreaking,
Mm-hmm.
considering music is everything. So I decided to just take a break first. I had initially decided I'm not going back to music, and then art and passion will just push you right out from whatever place you're seated. It will tell you, no, we are not done with you. And I
Yeah.
believe God is also not done with me, because I just came back, and I came back with a different vibe altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I loved everything that I was writing. I loved everything that I was, recording. And that's when I decided, yeah, let me do it. Let me do it again. There are people who are out there and they are waiting for me to talk to them and encourage them.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? Why am I just
Yeah,
letting someone pull me down?
definitely.
You know?
Yeah, true, true. And it's really unfortunate, the music industry, especially in Kenya. I can't speak for everywhere else, but definitely there's a lot of things, loopholes, there's a lot of things that are not really ironed out. I mean, for example, like the situation you went through with your former producer, him vanishing with all your songs, and there's nowhere what you can do, even there's no um legal redress for what you went through, because it just doesn't exist in that sense. And even how do you track them down? And I think that's the one of the challenges a lot of artists go through in Africa, because all copyright is, I think, still growing. Still, people are getting to understand, and a lot of things are done with mutual respect and good. We understand each other. We have a almost like a gentleman's agreement. However, the artist always loses out when the producer disappears or decides they're not going to release their song or give you their song. And I feel that was good that you took time to understand the industry, learn the industry, get to know your brand, get to understand what you want your brand to represent, and then come back strong and powerful. um which is good. I mean, it's really sad that you had to go through that and lost a lot of work. However, I'm glad you were able to bounce back. I think a lot of artists have not been able to bounce back when things like that happen. We can, you read about it in the papers a lot, and there's a lot of depression, and people don't understand. They see artists going through a deep, and they're like, oh, we thought he has money and all this, but you don't understand behind the scenes. Probably they've lost all their work, or somebody has disappeared with their work. So it's a lot that goes into it. So talk about the Kenyan industry. Well, how would you explain the Kenyan music industry according to your understanding? How would you describe it at the moment?
I am very critical about the Kenyan industry, and it's not because I don't see their strides, but it's because I know they can do better.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the industry. I've tried. I've actually been in the industry and tried to get there since I was in the university. That is around
Mm-hmm.
2009 to like 2014, 2014,
Yeah,
13 there.
yeah.
And you get to a point you understand that the talent for the talent, the underground talent to get to the
Mm-hmm. To break through. Mm-hmm.
breakthrough,
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy how much people are adding so much into this talent. It's like you start out as just a what you want is to just sing, and you don't want people to disturb you. You just want to sing. You don't want anything else. You don't want the fame. You don't want the popularity. You're just there for the passion, you know. And then comes this everything else that is, everybody wants to change you. Someone will tell
Mm-hmm.
you, "No, you can't do this, you have to do it this way, you
So
can't
there's a lot
sing
of pressure
this."
and roadblocks. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And if you say no, I don't want to sing like this, they say okay, kando, you don't have to
Yeah.
be. Yeah? And you get to a point you realize people who are really 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 talented, the percentage that gets to the very top is even less than half.
Okay.
Because
So when you say to the top, do you mean their music being played on radio or getting the credit that they deserve?
the credit that they deserve.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because you'll find a musician is somewhere, and they're singing, and they know how responsible they are when it comes to people's hearts and thoughts, and whatever they do, they know how responsible you are. Supposed to be very responsible when you're an artist. It's a gift, it's a responsibility that you've been given to share with the world. And when I was
Okay.
going to music, actually, that's what I was looking at. I asked myself, what is missing in the music industry, or what
Mm-hmm.
is really missing, but what is not highlighted? What don't people celebrate? People don't celebrate matters of the heart. People
Okay.
will want to go out there and just dance to some random beat, you don't
Mm-hmm.
even care what someone is saying. You'll just go out there and you'll just dance, and you'll just, which is not bad. I'm not against that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, what is my music doing to you? What
Okay.
am
So
I
you felt there was a gap in the industry in terms of content, in terms of things that relate to the everyday struggle of the person.
you get? For example, you can get someone starting out. You start out talking about real issues in the society, and how encouraging people who are down, who are
Mm-hmm.
brokenhearted, and you
Mm-hmm.
start out with pure sound, and you get
Yeah.
to a point, and in like 2 3 years someone is looking at your music and they're wondering, what are you singing about?
So yeah, it becomes commercialized and it becomes about hits and bangers and chart hits and stuff like that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody is strong enough to say, you know what, no, this is my way. And there's this song, there's this it will be the second song that I release. It's called As You Are My Nigga.
Mm-hmm.
It's a song that I wrote. I went into a studio, and it was like everything was working out, and they were They wanted to even sign me, and I was
Okay.
very excited. And then,
Mm-hmm.
do the projects and the video. And then I talked to the videographer,
Mm-hmm.
and the videographer told me, you have to change your hair. You have to I have dreadlocks on my head, so
Okay.
he was like, you have to change your hair, we have to put a wig on you, you have to have boots that are high heeled, and you have to have this makeup, and you have to sing like this, you have to look like this. And I said, No." That was the
It's
disagreement.
sad. Yeah, it's sad that
No.
yeah, the industry dictates definitely a certain look. You can see in most of the videos that are coming out all over the world, there's a certain look, there's a certain idea that's always pushed. And I think that's when you have artists who stay true to who they are, like Adele, uh, was like, yeah, take me as I am. I'm not about the looks and the all this. And it's very difficult to find people who are true to themselves. And especially in Africa, sometimes there's a lot of influence from everywhere, not just the West. Um, and that dilutes really the authenticity of our music. Uh, and that I feel that's a real shame, and we've lost a lot on that because we've tried to be like this one and the other and everything else, and we lose the authentic sound. So it's good that you've mentioned that, and you wanted to stay authentic and true to who you are and to the message you want to pass on. So what is the first song that broke you out, that you know in the Kenyan industry, people got to know you and say, okay, now, yeah, that's Zedai. What was that song that people recognized you with?
uh I think it is not really a song as much as a stage.
Okay.
I once performed at a Churchill show,
Mm-hmm.
Kitui edition,
Mm-hmm.
and I had been in the industry for some years, and so finally Churchill was coming to Kitui, and we were told to go and audition, and there were so many people there. Of course, everybody wants to, be in. And I came with some of my friends, and we just did something, and they liked it, and they said, come tomorrow. And after the
Mm-hmm.
performance, because it was Churchill show has a very big
Yeah,
platform
it has a platform
in
and
Kenya.
following, definitely. Yeah, influence. Not
Yeah.
only in Kenya, but in East Africa. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, that's when it was like, yeah, now this one has touched some people, because people are reaching out and even asking for links. I was getting
Yeah.
some, I was getting some young guys, or let's say call them what, teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
some of whom I was teaching, who also wanted to go into music, and they were like, teacher, we saw you on Churchill. How did you get there? How can we get there?
Amazing. So it inspired them, and it's amazing. And actually, that's where art and of all types actually can merge together to give people platforms, because you don't have just to be in a booth or in a music video. It can be a simple comedy show like Churchill, and there you get your platform because of the people who are here, and they get to hear and listen to your music. And I'm always grateful for people like Churchill and others who give platform not only to just comedians, artists in general, just creatives, to use his platform. And yeah, talking about inspiring people and having your students react to you, how do you how do you deal with when a student recognizes you and they come to you and they say, oh, I want to be like you? How did you do it? Do you mentor them, or is there what route have you decided to take with that? Yeah.
So in school, I'm teaching in one of the biggest mixed day schools in
Mm-hmm.
Kenya,
Yeah.
and we have over 1,000 students coming in every morning and going back home every evening.
Mm-hmm.
And with such a crowd, once the students get to know that you are a rapper or you are a singer, they, of course, they get excited. They
Yeah.
approach you, but you have to look at from a teacher stroke rapper kind of
Yeah.
perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, if your grades are suffering because of music, then I would I would comfortably tell you to just let it just be for a minute, just concentrate on your studies and then come back to this music. But if I see your grades and your talent, you can balance, then I start mentoring you. I start telling you, write this, bring it, let me see, let me listen, rap, at least let me listen to it. We have this time that is the co-curriculum. There was a time that we used to have co-curricular activities back
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya, back before Corona. But
Mm-hmm.
after Corona, we just decided to give them time to study during that
Mm-hmm.
time. So
So they
during
can
that,
catch up.
we find a
Okay.
student for you, so you can decide. Okay, you tell them you can bring me, maybe give me a question and an answer. Go
Mm-hmm.
and do your assignment, bring it, let us mark through it, and after we
Mm-hmm.
are done, then give me whatever you wrote. Is it a poem?
Mm-hmm.
Is it rap? Is
Mm-hmm.
it
So
so
it
it's
becomes like an incentive, I guess a carrot and stick situation whereby you're also motivating them to do better in their studies, and
yeah,
that
positive
also there's an
motivation.
outlet of their music or their creative side. Yeah.
A student will be very excited to bring you the poem that they wrote, but they know they can't bring the poem without doing the assignment um perfectly, because the rule is you get three-quarter of whatever, three-quarter of the marks that were supposed to be given. Then we
Uh-huh.
did talent. If you do not have that, then you just go back, work on your education first, then come back. It's just a way
Okay.
of teaching them.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And definitely when I was in school there was nothing like that. Definitely. So that's a good approach. So let's talk about the song that you talk about. Why do you want to change my image? What was the inspiration about that?
Actually, the inspiration to that song is the as I was telling you, the story about the videographer who was telling me I have to do this, I have to, I have to wear a wig. I do actually. I want to make this very clear. I am not against wigs, and I am
Mm-hmm.
not against weaves. I am not against makeup. I wear
Mm-hmm.
makeup, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I'm not against all that. What I am against is someone making another person feel uncomfortable or feel like they're not good enough just because they have not done what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have to go with the direction that everybody else is going with, you know? You
Yeah,
just you can
definitely. Beauty is not defined by hair and makeup and clothes,
exactly.
even though the industry is heavily influenced by that. And it's unfortunate, especially in Africa, they are trying really to change the image that, dreadlocks are not cool, natural hair is not cool. You have to have a weave or a wig, or you have to wear clothes that, show off this and that. Um, so I definitely like the fact that you stood your ground and you spoke about it, because we have to be comfortable as an artist. It's come as you are situation. We can't. There's no room to belittle or um, uncomfortability. And it's so sad that we have, even in 2021, we still have to tell people, I am okay as I am. Take me as I am. Don't
Yeah.
change me. I am beautiful. My hair is beautiful as I am. um and it's good because that will speak to a lot of girls and boys who are also, because there's a lot of pressure men and boys go through it as well in the industry, not just in music, in life in general, to be tougher, to look this way or the other, in order to appear cool or trendy. So it's good you were able to stand up to that kind of uh it's actually it's bad bad, bad kind of knowledge and thinking. It's really weak. And it's unfortunate somebody high up in that industry, if he's telling you that, imagine the number of women and girls and also men, probably he's telling, probably change this. And no wonder you see sometimes in videos, in music videos, some of the artists look really uncomfortable, and
Yeah,
probably because they don't like what they're wearing and how they look, because they've been forced to look more commercial, more, the sex appeal and everything, which is it's it's here today, gone tomorrow, basically. There's no foundation in it.
yeah, true, very true. And actually after that, I didn't work with the producer. I didn't work with the
Mm-hmm.
videographer.
I
But
don't
after
know.
me, it really got me thinking. It's that why should I change my image?
Yeah,
Why? Like,
you
why do
don't
you
need to.
change me
Mhm.
to accept me?
Yeah,
You either accept me or don't accept me, but don't change me. Don't come and say I still want to see you or listen to you, but you have to look this way for me
yeah.
to listen to you, because I am talking to your heart. I'm not talking to the fakeness that you're displaying out there.
Mm-hmm.
Talking
Mm-hmm.
to your heart,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is
listen,
being fake and not being authentic, definitely.
so
Yeah.
don't
So,
change.
okay, so moving, yeah, sure.
and,
So
the, and
moving
the
on
part
to what
where,
you're working on now. What is Zedai working on now, and what can our listeners expect from you, from this new, recharged, revitalized Zedai?
yeah, so Zedai is working on, I actually have two EPs lined up.
Wow,
I
wow.
have yeah,
Congratulations.
working on them last year on in June.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
So I started working on them in June last year, 2020, and
Mm-hmm.
they're ready. And hey, so the album is called Matters of the Heart.
Excellent.
To me, everything there is about the matters of the heart. I have the first song. The first song is called "As You Are, My Nigga."
Mm-hmm.
It's a song that just tells you as you are. I
Mm-hmm.
am to take you as you are. I am going
Mm-hmm.
to listen to you as you are. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm telling people out there, listen to me as I am,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not changing.
Yeah. Respect
I'm
me and value my opinions. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm.
I'm not changing. I'm not changing my songs. I am not changing my worth. I am not
Yeah.
changing anything. You just listen to me as I am, and I hope you are the way you are. You are originally you. I
Yeah,
want you
you're
to
staying
your
true to yourself. Yeah,
to talk to
definitely.
your heart. And then there's the second song. It's called "I'm Sorry."
Mm-hmm.
And it's a song I wrote when I was really down. I was thinking
Yeah.
about life, and I realized there's some moments in life that I didn't handle the situations the way they were supposed to be handled,
Mm-hmm.
and I was at fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to just own up my mistakes and write a song about someone who is talking to someone else and telling them how sorry they are. It doesn't matter if you did as small thing as, going out and saying something bad about, maybe something lies or something, to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
breakups, to going out on a night and drinking and making people have to carry you home,
Yeah.
or being addicted to a
Mm-hmm.
substance that you're not even able to leave it, and you're really
Mm-hmm.
sorry, and you're getting everything together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you try to communicate it to people, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
really know how to say it because people are not used to saying I'm sorry, apparently.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's very difficult to say sorry, to own up. It shows a lot of maturity on a person to actually own up and say, hey, I did you wrong. I am sorry. And this is where I'm sorry. Because sometimes this is where, you know, the society struggles a lot, because this is where gaslighting really thrives, because people try and show you actually it's you who was wrong, I wasn't.
Mm.
But it's true ownership, I mean maturity, to own up to what you are, and also it gives the relationship a new life, and it can only strengthen the foundation when you say you're sorry and be vulnerable about it, and the other person will respect you for doing that. I mean, we want a healthy society. At the end of the day, we don't want to be here hurting each other, or subconsciously or unconsciously, and we're not doing the necessary steps to remedy the situation. So it sounds like the new, not the new, but there's a guy whose back is mature, is strong, is talking about really hard hitting uh, topics. It's challenging us to own up to things that we do. That's good. I look forward to it. So when can we listen to it? Where can we get the music? When are you launching the EPs? Let us know about all that. We're eager to find out where we can get this music.
So my music, you can get me or my music on YouTube, Instagram, what else on my Insta?
Yeah,
uh,
that's right. That's all right. The good thing now, YouTube is everywhere, and most people can get it. And
yeah.
I'll put your links in so that people, our listeners, can get to listen to your
Oh,
music,
very
and
good. Yeah,
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 and get to interact with you and give you feedback. Because there's nothing more amazing than feedback from the listeners and your fans.
yeah.
So Zedai, it's been really nice to speak to you and get to know you and get to understand where your musical journey began and where you're at right now. So in as we close, what would you say you want your music to stand for? Where do you see it going? And what would you like to be, if you are, talk about it, say, what would we say the die as the artist wants to be remembered as?
Zedai as an artist would want to be remembered as someone who spoke to the heart,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the things that go around right now in the world, we need to speak about them, and we need to be true to ourselves, and we need to, own up to our mistakes. And I am that person who understands that as a musician, there is a day that I won't be alive and I won't
Mm-hmm.
be around to,
Mm-hmm.
keep reminding you.
Mm-hmm.
But give me the talent to talk to you right now and to record it, and
Yeah.
for you to have it even after, end of days, so if I can be able to impact actually, I am, when someone asked me, do you know your music is not for everyone? And I said, what?
Yeah, it was
I
dumbfounding
know
for you. Yeah.
it's not for everyone, but even if I will get a person or two people or just 10 or just 100 or just 1,000, and I kept on adding
Mm-hmm.
and adding, said, if I just get those people to
Mm-hmm.
hear what I have to say and to listen and
And
to be
relate to it.
encouraged,
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
relate, because
Mm-hmm.
I started singing because I wanted to relate to people. So if I can be able to relate to people and talk to them and be there for them when they're down and encourage them and tell them, hey, you know what? You are wrong. Own it. Move on. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
bitter. Don't live a life where, you're just bitter with people. Don't. If I can
Mm-hmm.
get a platform and I can be able to do that, then my purpose, my
Yeah, you've
purpose,
lived out your purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful note to end this discussion on. So everyone listen to Zedai, look out for matters of the heart. And yeah, as Zedai says, stay true to yourself, be authentic, I always say on this podcast, be the one makes that change. So be that change you want to see, and use your talents and your artistry to do good, to create awareness, to raise awareness, to encourage and uplift others. I think that's a beautiful thing that our creatives have, to be able to lift, empower, speak, be an activist actually. You're all in one, just not an artist. People, when they say I'm just an artist, they don't understand the power they carry. And that is wonderful. So thank you very much for being on the show. So that was our conversation with the Kenyan Zedai based in Kenya. She's a breakthrough artist. I love the conversation. You can listen to her music on Spotify as well as YouTube. And she also has social media pages on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Crash Cinnamon. See you on the next one. Bye.